Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. I am Kato here with your SmackDown Replay of the Week. Now, we are a few short days away from the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and I cannot wait for that. That is one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year. We have a packed card. We have champion versus champion. We have Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. We have the Street Profits versus the New Day, which is going to be one of my favorite matches on the whole card. We have Banks and Asuka. We have Sammy and Lashley. This is going to be a great Survivor Series, and of course, we're paying tribute to The Undertaker with 30 years in the business. That's right, 30 years in the business, man. He made his debut at Survivor Series in 1990, man. Let's go ahead and jump into the daytime and see what's happening right now. All right, now SmackDown started off with another hilarious segment between Big E and the Street Profits, all right? They was pretty much just getting us ready, gaining a little bit more exposure to that tag team match they're going to have with the New Day. And surprisingly enough, the New Day was actually at SmackDown tonight. That's right, the 10-time WWE Tag Team Champions. Yep, they was at SmackDown tonight. They was cutting a little segment, pretty much hyping up the match as well, paying their tribute to The Undertaker when they was interrupted by Sami Zayn, King Corbin. Eventually, Dolph came down and Rude came down, which pretty much resulted in a 4-on-4 match, all right? We had the SmackDown and the Raw Tag Team Champions all on one team. Just for the night. They'll be facing each other Sunday, but for the night, they're on the same team against Sami Zayn, King Corbin, Dolph, and Rude. Now, what better way to get us started and to get us ready for Survivor Series than a nice 4-on-4 tag match? So as expected, with these teams never teaming up before, we had some disagreements, we had some turmoil inside of both teams, all right? But it was the champion side winning the match when Ford hit a huge frog splash off the top rope to Sami Zayn, who was actually only in the match for about 10 seconds. Too bad, 3 of those 10 seconds, it was him getting his shoulders pinned to the mat by Ford. So, SmackDown team, I'm going to say gained a little bit momentum by actually getting the pin in that 4-on-4 tag team match tonight. So we'll see how that little bit of momentum roll over when they have to go against the New Day. So we finally got to see the last spot of the men's final team coming around, taking shape. Otis was the last member of the team. He was appointed by Adam Pearce, as was Bayley appointed to the women's team, but that left one more spot, and you know Natalya wanted that spot so bad, but once again, this was her last chance, her last opportunity to earn a spot on that team, as she had to go against Tamina tonight in a one-on-one match. And, you know, tonight, Natty finally earned a spot, man. She finally made the team. She's on the team. She was excited. We had the Riot Squad come down from the back. We had Bayley and Bianca Belair. They was on commentary during the match. They all jumped in the match when Natalya won. And this team actually looks to be on the same page. Unlike the Raw team, this team seems to somehow get along. It's no arguing amongst each other. So let's see if that unity can actually get them a heads up going into the Survivor Series match and see if they can get the win over the more dominant on paper team on the Raw side. So we'll see if they can go and get the job done in just 2 days. Now, as we know, last week, Seth Rollins was ultimately betrayed by Murphy, and tonight he looked to gain some revenge on Murphy, who was actually accompanied down to the ring by the whole Mysterio family. Well, besides Rey's wife, it was Rey Mysterio, Dominic, and Aaliyah. They all accompanied Murphy down to the ring. Now, this match right here, right? Murphy versus Seth Rollins. This match can propel Buddy Murphy. If he's able to win this match, it can propel Buddy Murphy into automatic title contention. Definitely the Intercontinental title. A match over someone of Rollins' caliber is definitely going to boost his stock with WWE, with the fans, and him being a face right now, him in a love angle, you know, the fans are going to just eat that up. They're just going to eat that up. So we got to see what Buddy Murphy can do. The match started off really physical. They were both really fired up. I mean, I thought it was going to pretty much turn into a disqualification as hard as these two was going at each other. Seth Rollins hitting a curb stomp off the second rope wasn't enough to put Buddy away. Buddy still showed a lot of fight and it was actually Buddy Murphy who came out on top. He managed to beat the Messiah. Now, I do not know if this feud will end. I don't see Seth Rollins just letting something like this go. I don't see Seth Rollins letting, his disciple get one up on him. Now, we've seen how long the feud with him and Rey Mysterio actually lasted. It was a pretty long time. So I could see someone like Murphy, who actually turned his back on the Messiah, who he felt betrayed by. I could see him really wanting to get some type of revenge. I'm not sure when that will come. Who knows? But I do not see Messiah just taking this land down. Now, I do predict Roman Reigns to take some. I do predict Seth Rollins to be taking some time off in the near future. Becky Lynch is, of course, expecting. So I'm glad that he passed the torch to a guy like Buddy Murphy. I wish Aleister Black somehow can jump into this picture, because if you remember, just not too long ago, just a few short months ago, Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy was having some of the best matches that we've seen in a long time on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully we can just see that feud rekindle, because it was really, really good. It had some really good matches, and I think they are capable of doing a lot more than what we've seen just on that Monday Night Raw when those two were having their feud. All right. After the Seth Rollins match, we had a segment where Banks and Asuka, who are both preparing for their Survivor Series match against each other, was actually face-to-face tonight, right? Those two was breaking back and forth when Carmella attacked Banks again from behind. Now, not only did she leave Banks laying in the ring once again another week, so that feud is definitely going to be going on. That feud is definitely brewing. It's working its way up. So after we leave Survivor Series, I can't wait to see them two go ahead, lock it in, and get it on. But more importantly, looking at Asuka's face as she watched Banks be assaulted, she didn't lift a finger. So could we be looking at another heel turn for Asuka? Could it be the Asuka of old? Now, that Asuka of old was pretty much dominant, had that undefeated streak for so long. No one was ready for Asuka at that time. So if we get that Asuka back, can you imagine how good that Raw women's division is going to be? That type of Asuka. You got Shayna Baszler over there. That could be a great, great match somewhere down the road. I'm really looking forward to what happened with that Raw women's division right now, because I think Asuka's kind of hitting a little bit of turn. Now, for the main event, we got the rematch that we've been waiting for weeks with Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan. Now, if you remember, Jey Uso put Bryan on the shelf for a couple of weeks after his assault after the match of Daniel Bryan when he first got his Survivor Series win to join the team. Bryan tonight was a different side of Daniel Bryan, man. It was that Daniel Bryan who was more focused on revenge than just going out there and wrestling his typical match. He was much, much more physical, as you would expect, being put on the shelf by this guy, and he just saying, hey, it's not that personal. He didn't mean to do it. It's just something that came over him. So Daniel Bryan had that same type of energy for Jey Uso tonight. He said, Jay, don't take it personal, but I'm going to go in there and pretty much do what I got to do to exact my revenge on you. And that's exactly what he did. Daniel Bryan managed to come away not only with his revenge, not only getting more physical than Jey Uso, but beating Jey Uso. And now Jey has his second loss in a row. Now, last week against Drew McIntyre, I thought there would be some type of backlash from Roman Reigns, but we've seen no consequences. We've seen nothing that would say that Roman Reigns is disappointed in Jey or that he's unhappy with Jey. He actually granted Jey interview time this week, But now with this being Jey's second loss in a row, what does that mean for the tribal chief and his camp? I don't think he's going to take that too lightly. Now, he does have Drew McIntyre to focus on, so maybe he wasn't going to address that this week. But next week, if that SmackDown Survivor Series team don't win, if Jey Uso's not the last man standing, what will Roman Reigns say? If Roman Reigns, loses to Drew McIntyre, maybe at the hands of a botched interference by Jey Uso, what will Roman Reigns say? Will Jey Uso have to pretty much re-show his loyalty by helping Roman Reigns defeat Drew McIntyre? I don't know, but I do know that this can't be good with Jey getting his second loss in a row, and we have to see how this losing streak and this loss of momentum carries over into the Survivor Series team for SmackDown. Now, they have the upper hand because these guys, they haven't showed any type of, disagreements or anything on film or backstage or nothing like that. And this Raw team's in shambles right now. But this Raw team, man, they're made of giants, dude. I mean, you got Sheamus, you got Braun, you got Keith Lee. These guys aren't any lightweights. The biggest guy on the SmackDown team right now is Otis. So we have to. They definitely gonna have to be on the same page. We're gonna definitely see what happened in a couple more days. I can't wait. But that was just SmackDown Replay of the Week. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop the whole breakdown of the SmackDown show in the description below, so don't worry about it. All right. If it's something that you wanted to read that you think I didn't cover too much in depth, don't worry because it's in the description. It's in the description down below. So make sure you go ahead and smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you can get that alert anytime that we drop a video. And remember, once we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to start our monthly giveaway. Let me tell you now, we're going to be giving away merch. All right, we're going to be giving away WWE merch, AEW merch, ProTshop.com merch. We're going to be giving away merchandise, so you're going to want to be a part of that, all right? All you got to do to enter is make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that like button on as many videos as you see from us, and drop a comment on as many videos as you see from us. Because the more we see the likes, the more we see the comments, the more you give yourself a chance to win, because your name is going to be fresh in our minds every time we look at our YouTube, all right? So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and roll on out. But before I do, go ahead and drop a comment or hit me in the DM. I'm going to answer back. Let me know what you think about the Survivor Series coming up, man. Let me know what you think about Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. You think the Tribal Chief going to go ahead and handle business? Do he need any help? You think Jay's going to come and give a little interference? If he does, do you think the Tribal Chief will be upset, saying, hey, I got this on my own. I didn't need your help. That could be an issue right there. What do you think about Asuka and Banks? Could we possibly be getting a heel turn with Asuka? Would you like to see a heel turn back to the old Asuka when she was undefeated and nobody could touch her? What do you guys think about the WWE World Tag Team Champions versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Street Profits? Who do you think is going to win that match? I think that's going to be a really good match between the two. I think that may be my favorite match of the night. We'll have to see. And what side of the brands do you think is going to come out on top in these 5-on-5 tag team matches? Men's and women's Raw, or men and women's SmackDown? Now, I think one side is going to have a clean sweep. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the SmackDown side, all right? Because I believe that the women's side and the men's side on Raw is actually setting up some type of feud going forward in the future. So I wouldn't mind seeing a lot of those matches take place. In order for that to happen, we have to have the disagreements to continue, all right? So I'm going to go ahead with the SmackDown side. I think they're going to clean sweep them. I think they're going to go ahead and win. And they're going to be repping. They're going to have brand supremacy until the next year, all right? I'm Kato. That's the SmackDown Replay of the Week. I will be right back Sunday soon as Survivor Series go off. I may even go live on IG, watch a little bit of it with you guys, and get a little comment and back and forth. We can talk about what's going on. But for now, I'm out of here. Peace.